It is also, at the same time, instructive, I believe, to look at a threat that is real, that is, frankly, imminent, as we're watching what seem to be preparations for another nuclear test on the part of the North Koreans. They are threatening wildly America, our allies, whether it be South Korea, whether it be the Philippines, whether it be Japan, Taiwan, and at some point, this Kim Jong-un is begging to die, is he not?
Look, this is an irrational regime that's getting very close to what it's been seeking for 30-plus years now, which is deliverable nuclear weapons. We're not speculating here. This is not reading intelligence a la the Iraq intelligence pre-2003. We've seen these missiles being launched. We've detected these nuclear tests. This is real, and our own commander in South Korea, of our forces, and the South Korean military think that the risk to the United States, and obviously to anybody closer to it, like Japan, is imminent as these things go. So let's remember one other thing. Given the level of cooperation between Iran and North Korea, forget the Obama nuclear deal. What North Korea is able to achieve in delivering nuclear weapons, Iran could get the next day with a wire transfer.
And while that is, it is interesting and imminent, as you say, what we're looking at in North Korea is going to require, is it not, a preemptory strike? What other possibility is there? What option exists for the President of the United States than that if Kim Jong-un continues this these preposterous threats while having very real access to nuclear weapons? This is not, as you say, hypothetical or abstract. It's clear, it's present, and it is certainly dangerous.
Look, I think that's right. We're in the middle of a very dangerous period here. We've got a constitutional crisis going on in South Korea that the North could take advantage of. There's every prospect of the election outcome in South Korea in May. We're returning another appeasement presidential candidate as we had 10 years ago. And so in these kinds of circumstances, actually, it makes it more likely that the North will behave in an irrational manner. I mean, I think we should long ago have gone to China and say, look, you've got the unique capability.
My Lord, if we have not, in the course of these decades, told China to manage their little puppet state and to stop the nonsense, and if we have been disappointed throughout, as we surely have, what are we doing? What other policy makes any sense in the follow-on? To make them wealthy, to continue to trade away vast intellectual property to the Chinese, to trade away all of these hard dollars for their reserves. I mean, this is madness what this nation has pursued in the way of a policy with China, let alone its puppet state.
Yeah, look, we have followed a policy in Republican and Democratic administrations alike for 25 years of helping the Chinese help us negotiate with North Korea, which has produced 25 years of failure. I must say, Secretary of State Tillerson put it on the mark when he was in South Korea saying, we don't see a future for negotiation. Why does anybody think year 26 is going to produce a better result? He's rejected the strategic patience doctrine of the Obama administration. So I think the Trump administration's on the right track here.
Yeah, I do too. I certainly hope so. And to hear strategic patience is at an end is terrific. Now, what the hell do we do with the Chinese and their puppet state? Because both need tending to. Ambassador, good to have you with us.
Thank you, Lou. Glad to be with you.
Well said. Kirk Lippold, thanks for joining us, sir. Appreciate it.
Before I take your questions, I'd like to say just a word about the framework with North Korea that Ambassador Gallucci signed this morning. This is a good deal for the United States. North Korea will freeze and then dismantle its nuclear program. South Korea and our other allies will be better protected. The entire world will be safer as we slow the spread of nuclear weapons. South Korea, with support from Japan and other nations, will bear most of the cost of providing North Korea with fuel to make up for the nuclear energy it is losing. And they will pay for an alternative power system for North Korea that will allow them to produce electricity while making it much harder for them to produce nuclear weapons. The United States and international inspectors will carefully monitor North Korea to make sure it keeps its commitments. Only as it does so will North Korea fully join the community of nations.